So let's do our segmented control here, so we can choose what kind of format we want for our temperature, Fahrenheit or Celsius. So I'm going to get a segmented control here and drag one to my footer view. And we are going to write on the first segment, which is our 0 segment, we need to put it Celsius. And the second segment, which is our segment 1, we're going to put Fahrenheit. So for this, we need our Celsius and Fahrenheit symbols. And I have actually just Googled the Celsius symbol and Fahrenheit symbol, so we can copy them. So once we have selected, I will put it here. And the same thing I'm going to do with my Fahrenheit symbol. So just copy it and we put it as a second segment. Okay, and since this is blue by default, what I want to do is change the tint color to be white, because our background is a gray, so the black and white would be much nicer here. The next thing, we want to put our auto layout controls here. So I'm adding one constraint to be 8 points from the left, and also we want to make it bigger, so let's do it like 135 points width, and let's add the constraint for the width as well. And now I am going to put it vertically in the container. So now that it knows from where it's going to start, how much is the width, and in the middle of our container, all the constraints are blue, so it means that we know on the runtime where this view should be. So the next thing is going to be the connections. So if I select my all locations and then option click on my main storyboard, I can have my assistant editor open. And let's scroll on top, and we are going to add our outlet. So I'm going to put mark here, IP outlet, and the first one is going to be our where are we, inside our view, and this is going to be our segmented control. So I will drag it from my view there, and this is going to be our temp segment outlet. And also let's connect our view, which is the main view here we are using, and I'm going to connect this as well and call this footer view. Oh, actually I think we already have this. Let me just check. No, we don't. So let's see why it doesn't want to be connected. All right, now it's connected. So we have our temp segmented outlet and footer view connected. But before we are done with our connections, there is one more connection we need to do. And this is IB action for our segmented control. So we have connected a outlet, and now we need an IB action. So let's put it before our table view. So I'm going to put mark IB actions. And again, we are going to connect our segmented control, but this time it's not going to be outlet. This is going to be action, and Xcode is smart enough to do it for us, since the connection we are dragging to inside under our class, so it automatically switched to action instead of outlet. So the action is going to be, let's change the type to UI segmented control, and the name is going to be temp segment value changed. All right, and we can close our assistant editor, and just to test it, I'm going to say print, and let's say selected, and let's pass our sender dot selected segment index. So this will tell us which index, which pattern we have selected. And let's run our application. So if I go to my view here, I can see that we have our view, and if I click on it, it will say selected 1, which is our second item. If I click the Celsius, it will say selected 0, which is our first item.